Welcome to the Difficult to Please podcast. I'm Erwin.
And this is JV. It's two 30-year-olds who give an alternative view on pop culture and the world around us.
Episode 2.
Episode 2, we here, man.
We fucking made it.
I know, after like a 3-month
awkward hiatus. Well, first,
we have the shittiest reason too. It was hot, according to Erwin. It's hot. I don't want to do it. Like, I can fuck with that. That's fine with me.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay, so we last published in June. So June, July. It's August.
No, was it June?
We recorded in May.
Okay, that's what I was going to say.
We definitely recorded in May because I remember referencing the graduations that were coming up.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit. And then it's August now.
It's about to start. Like, oh, new class.
Summer's gone. That's what happened.
Summer's gone. We took a summer break, too.
Basically. Well, it was unexpected. It got really hot. And then
everything we kind of planned was not... We weren't really good with planning on that. That's for sure. Because we were thinking about having a guest.
Yeah.
But then I don't even think we have a third mic, huh?
I mean, we'll get to it.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Okay. See, that's the thing too. Like, we could have had a third guest, but it's like, all right, let's just share a mic.
No, it's fine. I think that, well, just since this episode is about the creative process, I think I personally got into my own head of like, oh, we have to have a guest, and I was like, oh my god, freaked out, right? I just got so like in my head where I couldn't think outside and just fucking do it.
Yeah, because you're like saying like, oh, we should have this guest. What kind of questions should we ask her? I'm like, well. I'm like, what do you have in mind? And it was kind of like blank after that.
It was like a really big topic. I mean,
it's a good plan.
We're very likely to get into it. It's just right now, it's just like, oh shit, there's a lot.
It's better to put something out than kind of just like wait for that perfect thing.
Yeah, and I think I realized that a couple weeks ago. I was like, shit, dude, I just started the end of July. I think it's time.
It's time to do something.
It's time to do something. It's been like 2 months since original content, so it is what it is.
So I think with the creative process too, you really have to be consistent with it. I think so.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's like for us, it's monthly. Like we were kind of doing like a monthly thing at one time, which is fine. It was consistent.
Yeah.
Like, we could do it. But the only problem is that sometimes we want things a little bit too perfect. That's the problem too, I think.
I think as a creative, you want things to happen the way that you want it. You want to have all control of the entire thing from start to finish, right?
Right.
From your process to the execution and to the final product. You want to be like...
Even a fine detail that no one's ever going to notice.
Yeah. Fuck. That's where I was at, and that's where I'm in my own process for anything creative. It's like I'm way too...
Involved.
I'm like, everything has to be perfect from start to finish.
So do you think that you think you're a little bit too passionate about it?
I guess so, or I don't know, because I feel like in my head...
Or does it need to be perfect in your head? Like you have this one like image of like, this is how the perfect episode should be.
Yeah.
And this is how I want to do it.
It's really what it is. In my head, I have to execute the process the way that I envision it, even like just the pre-production stuff that has nothing to do with the actual like execution of the final product. I'm like, no, it has to be like this.
Okay.
Or I don't want it, or we can wait. And that's what happened. I'm like, oh shit.
You hesitate.
Yeah, that's what happened.
So I'm like following some of these photographers and other creatives online, and they kind of put like this new view on me about it's not like some people get too wrapped up about the gear, they get too wrapped up about the process.
Yes.
So they said like, dude, you can eat like for photographers, for example, they're like, oh, what kind of camera and lens should I get? Blah blah blah. And some of these people are like, dude, you could do it with any shitty camera. Like, don't worry about the gear. Just produce something. Like, put something out there. Even if it's with an iPhone, you can do something.
Yeah.
Like, even with the podcast, they're saying, like, you could just record it on your phone, and that could be a legitimate podcast. At least you're putting out something.
Yeah.
If you have good
about that.
Yeah, if you have good content, and you're consistent, and people are going to notice regardless of the quality.
Yeah, it's the content, but it's like in my head, it's like, no, but you have to plan the content. You have to plan the next content after that content.
Right.
That's where my head is at.
So have you heard of this book called The War of Art by Steve Pressfield?
Oh shit! I was like, my dyslexia was like, what are you talking about? The art of war? What are you talking about?
No.
But go ahead.
This is about resistance. It's about creatives.
War of art.
Yeah. So it's about a writer who kind of puts this concept called the resistance on like creatives. It's the reason why creatives don't move. It's the reason why we don't like get out what we set out to do.
Okay.
For example, he said we should kind of treat like too much passion in a project. We will get too hurt if it's not perfect. So that's we'll kind of like stop because we're like, oh no, I don't want to do it anymore because I don't want it to be this way. So you will stop doing a project, and thus you will stop producing more stuff, right? So he's saying that, you know, like normally people can go to like a 9-to-5 job, even if they hate it, and they will just like, they'll go through it. You know, they'll fucking like just work it if they hate it, whatever, but they get paid, right? So he's saying like, why can't creatives do that too? I mean, that's the difference between like a professional and amateur. The professional will do it for money, and the amateur that does it for the art. But also, the amateur can also stop doing it for a bit. He's like, I'll just do it later. So, you know, their hustle is not as strong as the professional. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I'm just saying, like, so what I'm saying is, as creatives, it's better to kind of just put yourself in your creative workshop and just work at it. Said like for him, he's a writer. He's a Hollywood writer. So he said it's better if I go to a place, sit down on a desk, like pull up my laptop or whatever, and just start going at it.
That's like the similar like situation where it's not ideal to kind of like study in your bed. Yeah, at home. Specifically in your bed because you'll fall asleep or some shit like that. You're like very likely to fall asleep. Or it's better. It's difficult to work from home.
Right.
Because you have like so many distractions and like whatever, you end up like kind of working harder more than you do if you're at the office. And that's where I see the few opportunities that I've had to work from home, I've always felt like I'm working harder than if I went to an office, sat down, opened a laptop.
Because you kind of focus, right? You're like, you have an objective. This is what I need to do. Yeah.
For sure.
Because if you're at home, you're kind of like, I gotta clean.
There's
or something like that. Something random.
You want to like multitask.
Right.
Like you kind of want to run the dishes or do your laundry while you're... Yeah, I mean, that's why I see it's difficult. But work is work. If we get to do it, you get to do it. Get it done. It is what it is.
Right. So why can't we do it? I was like, what I'm saying is like, why can't creatives do that too?
I don't know, man.
So that's the thing. Like, even if it's like setting a few hours in your day just to do it, you know what I mean? Just to like get something down on paper. Like, because someone said, like, another person I followed too said that sometimes kind of like this is the same way diets and exercise programs don't work, that people can't hold it for the long run is because they set super high expectations.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so, for example, let's take the gym, for example. Nate Green once said that, well, not verbatim, but you basically said something about the reason why, like, our habits die out right away because we kind of set it too unrealistically. So, like, you know, for example, you work out 5 days a week the first 2 weeks, and suddenly something happens. You're like, nah, I'm not going to do it anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that happens. Like, missing one day turns into 2 to 3, and then you're back to where you started kind of thing. So he was suggesting, too, that, like, what a personal trainer should be doing, from his opinion, is that they should work with their clients every week and tell them, like, you know, with your busy schedule, scale of 1 to 10, how often can you work out 3 times a week? Like, if it's anything lower than 7, you take it down 1. So the goal is to like, even if it's 1 day a week, you basically like you would. He said, I would rather have people have done 52 workouts than 0 workouts at all.
Okay.
So it's kind of like That's like, so things I think have to be so like crazy, easily stupid, and then just built off of. If it's even like 1 hour a week doing your creative project, do it, and then like if you could do it again, like just add on to it. Like as creatives, I think it's good to put deadlines on yourselves, even if it's like week or month. Like start small. Like okay, let's say start small. Like do something once a month or whatever, and then the more you can fit into your schedule, the more like what I'm saying. Like the more you dish out, the more things you'll have, and you can learn from it. Like someone who could do like, for example, like 100 photos a week versus someone who did 100 photos a month. Like that person who did 100 photos a week has more practice. They have more ability to hone the craft. Yeah. So even with writing too, like for me, I'm trying to do more writing. So I'm like reading a little bit more, and I'm trying to like put down like something easy. Like for me, I'm trying to just put 5 pages down of creative writing for now.
Yeah. I mean, that's still a solid goal.
Right. It's easy. For me, it's super easy. I can do it on top of like school, work, and whatnot. I could still fit in creative time.
So as a creative, have you ever, I guess, despised structure?
I think everyone hates structure because no one wants to be told what to do. But
especially as a creative, yeah.
Yeah, but structures and limitations make you a lot more creative. Like example, like you put these rules around you, it's up to your creativity to like work with it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, here's the canvas. Here's like 5 paints you're given only. Do something with it. Instead of like, all right, do whatever you want with however many paints you want. Like too many choices will give you overloads like the senses,
Yeah.
So you kind of need rules and boundaries to keep you in check. That's basically what I want to say. I think it's fine to have things that keep you in check. Like for example, things I did with RD, when we did with RD back then, was different from when I did for my personal stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Right. Like the stuff I would do with RD at the time when we did like shirts and stuff, I wouldn't have ever thought about doing like my personal projects. I would never have thought about that.
Why is that? Just because it's not the style you're trying to attain at the time?
That too. But at least for us, when we had RD, we had like a vision.
Okay.
That's why.
And so whatever you made was kind of like towards the vision of RD, but not necessarily you.
No, it was with RD. So I'm saying like that's what we should have, these goals, like these limitations to force us to be creative in different ways.
Yeah, shoot. Yeah, because I need...
Like, how many passion projects have you finished?
Fucking less than 10. I can tell you that for sure.
And how many projects have you finished with, like, RD and Difficult to Please?
Way more than 10.
See, exactly. That's what I'm saying. These limitations, like, make us a little bit more productive because they kind of push us a certain way. So that's what I'm saying.
Well, because, like, I know as a younger creative... in my earlier 20s, I hated structure.
No, of course, because
I was like, "Fuck that, dude!"
Right?
Like, I want to do what I want to do what I like. I want to do on unlimited time. I just want to do it. Just fuck it. Like, take my inspirations from the things I really liked at the time, and I want to replicate that and I do just that. But after a while, it just like. Even with like all the passion projects, like I needed the structure, at least some kind of structure, some deadlines to be motivated to like, here you go. Like, to be, I guess, marketable, in, for future jobs. It was like, I can't just have like millions of like unfinished passion projects. I'm like, no, I have to have these flyers done. I have to have these posters done. I gotta have brochures, fucking books or whatever. Like whatever I had to take care of had a deadline. That's what helped me, like, my portfolio, etc.
And has it helped you?
Yeah,
like up to now.
Yeah,
that's good then.
But it's like I still like myself still kind of clings to that younger mentality of structure. I'm like, oh, fuck structure. I hate structure.
Right.
So it's just like for me, it's still kind of balancing the blend of like having the free will, I guess, to kind of go about and produce the things I still want to create, but also have a structure, a deadline, a blueprint.
Yeah, your creativity for your project isn't going to be yours.
Yeah.
It's just like deadlines that you
Yeah.
should put on
Fuck
yourself.
deadlines.
Yeah, fuck deadlines, but we need it.
I
man.
know. It's just like it's a necessary evil.
I mean, look at it, man.
It really is.
Apple puts out things like at certain times that you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
tech companies do it like the same time every year. They always put shit out at the same time every year. And it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're putting something out. It might not be like the best thing in the world, but they put something out. And like they'll just like tweak it after.
Right.
You know, the people from Mango Street once said like it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Oh yeah. Wait, who's Mango Street?
These couple photographers. You should follow them.
okay.
They're pretty dope.
Okay.
They do like YouTube like photography stuff. I'm not into photography, but I like watching like their videos. These last 3 months for me have been really kind of eye-opening. I've been trying to grab inspiration from like different spots. Like I finished 4 audiobooks on my 5th one right now and watching different podcasts.
Well, because like, what's the stuff that kind of like makes you think that you're different from when you were 6 months ago? Like, what's the stuff that you're consuming that drastically changed? I guess the type, like the genre, maybe.
Let's see. I read 2 finance books, or I listened to 2 finance books. I listened to a leadership book. Listened to the War of Art about creative process.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of want to. I moved on. I'm like doing another Seth Godin book. I'm redoing Purple Cow. It's actually it makes sense again. I'm like, damn, Purple Cow is sick.
Even like I haven't read it in a while, but
Everyone should be Everyone should take a marketing class. Everyone should read marketing books. If you're a designer, creative, I think it's important to take a marketing.
I think as creatives, or fuck, I don't want to generalize, because there's some people who are really good at like the business aspect of creativity.
No, I'm just talking about marketing.
Yeah, but it's still marketing is still part of business,
Right.
But like, because but then there's a lot of creatives out there who are really shitty at business.
All right.
Like, cause they're some creatives out there just think of themselves as like a pure artist, a pure creative. It's like untouched.
And some people are good with it.
Yeah.
Some people are actually really good
Yeah.
with it. But it's their art should be the one speaking for it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
sure, like if you need help to like market it, yeah, get someone who's good at it, who kind of like shares your ideas. Because obviously we all can't be like Swiss Army knives.
Yeah. That makes
Okay,
sense.
that's the term. It's like, wait, a 10-in-1 tool. Womp womp.
I still think Swiss Army knives are really fucking cool, man.
Shut the fuck up.
I have one in the car. It's just like really, it's very convenient.
Shut the fuck up.
It's really convenient,
It
man.
is convenient, but is it like just a jack of all trades or a master of none kind of thing? It's not the best hammer, not the best screwdriver, not the best wrench.
It's not the best knife, but when you need one, you have a knife.
You go-
There's a scissors in there. There's
Shut the
a
hell
bottle opener.
Dumb.
It is what it is, man.
It's too much going on.
But yeah, I mean, I agree that creative folks need to have like some marketing experience.
Definitely, man. I think so. Because if you think about it, like, let's use tech companies again. Sorry, because I think Apple's like the best thing. Apple's design
Yeah,
is
because
their
they got
marketing.
they're worth $1 trillion now.
Oh, are they?
That's what they said like today because
On Forbes or something?
yeah, because their shares went up to like 200 plus per share, $200 per share rather.
Okay.
So just by that valuation and the amount of shares that they have out there, it's like boom, trill. That's a lot of money. But go ahead, go on with Apple and
No,
marketing.
I'm just saying, like, their marketing is in the design. You know what I'm saying? Like, their products are so well thought out, it pretty much sells itself, kind of thing.
Yes.
Like, I don't need to listen to Tim Cook about it.
Yeah, I think I definitely there's a shift for when Steve Jobs was around, because I think right now the products are hard, like what's revolutionary now, like let's take away the fucking dock or the plugs and all that shit. Like to me, I'm like, oh, that's, is that really designed though? I mean, the first iPhone was like amazing. Like, oh shit, it's
Right.
like it's an iPod plus camera and a phone. Like, oh shit.
iPhone 4 is still my favorite iPhone of all time. Well, the SE looks pretty sick too, but obviously I don't have Apple.
I mean, that's the thing with Apple is like once you get caught up in like one piece, you most people will just kind of like follow the ecosystem. I'm like,
Right.
get an Apple or get an Apple product, get a Mac or get an iPad, follow along and shit like that.
But design and
I mean, I am not taking anything away from what they create because their
it's
shit is,
great.
I
Yeah,
think when they came out with the first MacBooks with like the aluminum, I'm like, oh shit, like game
That's different.
changer, right? Or
Right.
like, what, the circle mouse? I'm like, whoa, this shit is crazy. They got a circle mouse, like, you know, like it.
I gotta ask you something.
Yeah.
Could you like something and not buy it?
I mean, yeah,
Right? For example, like I still admire Macs.
yeah.
I just wouldn't buy one right now. Just the iPad. I love the iPad.
Yeah, like I admire Teslas, but I don't think I'll ever
Because
either
you can't afford one, right?
afford one or like to me it's like yeah, it's just like I live in an apartment complex that does not have a electric charger. Like
Yeah,
there's
so you have to go
there's
somewhere.
literally like even if like
Just unplugged too, huh?
yeah, like you have to find a plug or do all that shit. Like I think the product of a Tesla is really cool, full electric and like the touchscreen
That's the
navigate.
future.
Yeah, I think that's the future for what it is. We're not at the hover car stage yet or whatever, but
You're still gonna get to the electric car first.
you know, you gotta get somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, like, I feel like 100 years ago, like, an electric car would have made more fucking sense than, you know,
A
than a
gas
gas.
car, yeah.
Even a steam engine would have made more fucking sense 100 years ago, right?
Right.
Not gas.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested now. I kind of want to. I'm curious about gas now. Oh well, we'll look it up at sometime. So, anyways, I want to like say that too about like street brands now. Complex Con. So
Coming up.
I do want to go. I kind of do want to go,
Yes.
but I'm not gonna buy shit this year.
I thought,
Or if I do, it'd probably have to be something that's like super nuts.
well, why? Because I think on the last one of the episodes after Complex Con,
Hey, you might hit.
you were
hit your
saying
rant.
like I'm gonna go back. I'm a capitalist and just buy everything
No, fuck
and then
that. No, I'm not
resell
gonna do that.
everything.
I'm not
no,
gonna do that.
why not? What changed? I guess.
That was me. I was angry, man. I was
Angry.
angry because I was in line for like 6 to 8 hours for something I could have bought from the Complex Con store online.
Yeah, that hurts, huh?
It hurt.
I was thinking about it, but I was
so
like,
bad.
nah, I'm good.
It hurts. I was like, my nephew got all like cool things, man. I missed out on seeing like Tribe. I missed out on seeing like talks and stuff like that. Like that's what I super regret. Like I like going to these conventions for the talks too.
Yeah.
For sure. I like it. For me, like buying stuff, I kind of like learned that with like Anime Expo this year. Like I didn't actually buy so much at Anime Expo this year. My money was more invested into like the experience and like panels and stuff like that. Like actually one of the most interesting panels I went to at AX is how fandom helped my mental health.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So like stuff like that I'm more into. And there are a lot of panels I saw at the Complex Con last year, or I didn't see, but like kind of went through the program. I was like, oh yeah, I would go see this, this, and this. Because there are like people talking about like street fashion, where's street fashion going, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, fuck, I really wish I saw that instead of
Waiting in line to buy.
waiting in line to buy a bag I could have bought on the Complex Con website.
I think this year I'm just gonna hold off and just buy something off the Complex Con website. I didn't buy
would you,
something last year, but I was like, by next year.
would you go though?
Um, it's hard, right?
I think it's dope. I think for at least for us, I think we should go too because that's kind of like our scene. Like
Yeah.
we were up about it in like 2008 and from 2008 to the 2000 like what 11.
Yeah, that was like heavy in the scene. I mean, I still follow things, and there's a few brands I still kind of like, but I mean, it's different. It's weird because it's only been
10 years.
at the max 10 years,
Since
and
we
it just feels like there's so much has changed, right? Like there's this wave of like,
it's not upper playground anymore.
right.
I mean, they're still around, but
It's
not
different.
just upper playground
It's
anymore.
different, and definitely has to do with I guess high fashion adopting a lot of like what like streetwear has done, and it's not just Virgil going to Louis Vuitton or Yoon of Ambush going to Christian Dior or
Marc Jacob going to Vans.
it's I forget where Kim Jones, former Louis Vuitton, is at, but yeah, it's like I don't know what year it was. Maybe it was 2015, 2016 when there was a lot. Maybe it was when Yeezy started doing his own like fashion like runways.
You think Yeezy kind of changed it a little bit? At least changed it like the perspective of like the fashion scene a
I
little
think
bit.
Yeezy and ASAP Rocky did a little bit at the high end of fashion where that these I guess legacy brands like Chanel, like Louis Vuitton, like Marc Jacobs, etc., that they couldn't ignore what was going on. And the arc of this is like there are creatives out there who are really good at marketing, really good at the business side, and excel at it. But also think about that. There's a lot of people who are quote unquote starving artists still. Like,
Right.
do you still believe that you would want to be a starving artist? Like, you just want to quit everything and just do art?
I got shit to pay for, man. I can't do that yet. I have a Dave Ramsey plan to like pay off my bills. And when I do that, yeah, I'll think about it. But right now, it's kind of like, so for example, like this shirt I got and like a few shirts I've been getting now, they're all artists who kind of just have Instagram, and that's how they've been kind of like selling their stuff. They'll go from like drop. So this is the reason why I was asking about drop ships earlier, or a few months ago. I was like, these artists will do a limited run on drop shit or shirts and designs and whatever they're gonna do. Yeah, and then they have such a huge fan base already. You know, like they develop it through the art. The art speaks for itself. People follow it. People love it. You got your otakus and your sneezers.
Yes.
And then one final they go like, I'm about to produce a shirt. Like, people buy it. It's sick.
And that's how you want to make money.
Well, yeah, and that's how they make money. They do it through like Skillshares too, and like.
Well, that's
Patreon.
how we're gonna make money.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool, man.
Every episode, speak it into existence.
The moment we get like 1K plus followers, we're like, yeah, we're gonna
milk this.
We're gonna milk this, and that's what Seth Godin said too. He's like, dude, you gotta learn how to milk stuff and then reinvest that back into like something innovative. That's what I'm saying.
Like we'll start doing TED Talks on creativity.
On creativity. We'd be on other people's podcasts. We'd be like, so we did it.
So we made it. Finally did it.
Erwin and Rona's living room into
a studio.
Oh, I was gonna go like public library and then a studio. So if thinking about it now, if you were 20, what would you really tell yourself about that? Like, what would you like
about creativity or about getting guests?
No, kind of like just creating something. You know what I mean? Like,
if I was 20.
Yeah, if we like basically told ourselves when we first started R&D, like how would we have approached everything differently? Would we have been a little bit more patient? Would we have like pushed harder?
I think definitely. I mean,
the scene's different because we didn't have direct to print back then. If we had direct or
if
to
there
print on
weren't,
demand, it would have been
yeah,
so much
if
different.
there wasn't like minimums,
Right.
maybe different and a different investment, I guess. It's different now. I think Instagram changed the game. Shit. I guess the advice that I would say was to for sure come up with deadlines. And I think even with deadlines was that we, or even myself, we should maybe just kept the designs more simple. I think in my head it was more about bridging this idea of creativity and artistic like qualities that I was like grabbing out of like just the art world, like upper playground. What upper playground was doing. I kind of wanted to do more of those things versus like the simple shit now that sells, like sayings on a t-shirt, you know, black t-shirt and then white text on a black t-shirt. Like it's like, you know what I'm saying, like that's just like one print, like one color prints. Like fuck, I should just
One color prints are sick. I have like more appreciation for it now.
Like I forget who was doing it. I think Rebel 8 was doing it. Or even like Obey, right? Obey had a big influence
But
in my
it's
head.
different though because
Like even back then when Shepard was doing more of his own stuff.
because those are all like what do you call that? Prints and stuff like that. Like that was graffiti artists though. That's different though, because that's kind of like the commonality between like a lot of more successful brands right now is that they all came from graffiti artists, from street art. You know what I'm saying? Like Stussy came from that.
Yeah.
Hundreds came from that. Supreme came from that.
Yes.
And then especially Obey. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's different.
It's definitely different. And
I would have told myself to keep it more simple. I think
I would have tried to include more street artists for sure.
Yeah.
So I think one thing I would definitely tell myself was back then is to keep putting stuff out for sure. Like not to like oversaturate, like here on Twitter, here on Instagram, like pick your big foundation, like the thing you're gonna strive in, and kind of just like build off it. Like if it's YouTube videos, Instagram, or Twitter, like have that like that base and kind of just work around it.
Like, what do you like? Remember when Tumblr was like a really big like artistic community?
Yeah.
Did that fall off for you?
It did.
Yeah.
I don't use Tumblr anymore.
Like
some people do.
Yeah, like I go back and I see like not just Tumblrs but like deviant art, and it's just kind of like I walk through like a time machine. Like the interface is still the same,
right?
And then like, but there's still people like posting their portfolio stuff onto like TA.
But then, okay, let's think of it this way: is it so wrong for the people to have like a deviant art or a what do you call that? A Tumblr, because those are kind of like free services. So like like
definitely not.
Yeah, it's like for like the college kid who's kind of just starting off. Like, why should they buy a Squarespace website?
But I will say this: I think to any creative, value your work. Never fucking do anything for free.
No, I think it's fine to do stuff for free for a while, but if it gets to the point where you finally start picking up steam, you really need to start narrowing your choices. Start like then you value work, because now it's like, okay, people want my stuff now. Because if it's like a few homies who are kind of like, oh, can you do something for them? It's like cool. But I think like when I was listening to some of the podcasts, they're saying like as long as you're engaging with other people, like we should have been engaging with more things. I think like we should have been the people who are like, hey, you know, can we be on your show?
Yeah.
Not kind of the other way around, or come to our show kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like we should have put ourselves more out there more. We should have had more deadlines, had way more designs.
All right, so we're going to try something new. This segment is called Over Underrated. where we come up with some topics and we just say if the topic is underrated or if the topic is overrated.
We're gonna say hello, like everything is like overrated because we're
Because
difficult
we're
to
fucking
please.
difficult to please. Everything is very overrated. All right. Books. Overrated, underrated.
Underrated for sure. I think books are super valuable to people. Like you could learn so much. There's only so much that YouTube videos can teach you. And people are really doing it now. Like people are listening to like audiobooks to like commute and like I kind of get it now because like books are great because I think you should always learn, right? Because you always should
Yeah.
always strive to be a better person. And audiobooks are just really good too because you can like passively listen to something and still learn something at the same time. Oh shit, your reptar's here.
Books, in the sense of fiction, I think it does a lot more. It leaves everything to your own imagination. Like the words are out there, but it's up to you to envision what that world looks like.
Talking about like stuff like Harry Potter.
Or even like I've restarted reading a Ghost Set, a Watchmen,
What is that?
the sequel to To Kill a Mockingbird.
I didn't know there was a sequel.
It's like a the
I thought she only did one book and that's
no,
it.
she apparently she did another book.
Okay.
But yeah, I recently reread it, but it's like I had to like the way that she wrote everything, right? There's no pictures, so it's just a matter of me.
Obviously.
That's what I'm saying is like in terms of fiction, like books kind of give you like they leave you to your own imagination and you fill in the blanks.
All right, I think that really like starts your creative juices. Like it really helps you envision stuff.
True.
I think you'll definitely know the difference between someone who's creative and not creative with who reads fiction books. No, I'm serious.
It's true.
Yeah. Okay, next one.
Public transportation, overrated, underrated.
Underrated. I think we need it. I think we need more public transportation so we can hate on it. Because the moment that shit gets crowded, we're like, fuck this. I don't even want to go on a bus anymore. It's kind of like if I go on a bus now, it's like, never been on a bus in such a long time.
Public transportation is just rated. It's like mid. There's no under over. If it was over, it'd be like super expensive, and there'd be everybody on it like other major cities. But for the most part, it's not. It's cheap. It's fairly easy to use. You pay for what how your commute or whatever. It's just it's the length of time. Like San Diego is it's spread out. It's not like New York where everything's condensed, or like Philly or any other large city where you can take a train and you get there and you walk to whatever. So it's just rated to me.
Oh, okay. That's interesting because, like, I love public transportation in other areas, but
Yeah,
I could never do it in San Diego.
San Diego
or
is
LA.
just kind of like it's underrated that a lot of people don't use it, but there's a logical reason why. But
People don't like doing it too.
it's just rated.
Fine.
The news, overrated, underrated.
Overrated. Overrated because it's way too saturated, man. Trump's just fading that shit easily. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Trump is in everything. Trump is in
and
everything.
everything, which is so weird. Like, have you been reading the news as much as like now than you have like back then?
Well, I know we talked about this in
Oh, true.
previous episodes, but man, when it comes to the smartphone, man, you just get push notifications for CNN. It's just kind of like it's hard to avoid. So with that being said, I'm also overrated because I'm inundated with so much fucking information. I can't get a break.
So if I had to say something about it, check who like you're getting news from, like cross-reference it. Just make your own educated choices. Don't get like give into all that noise because it's way too much going on, man.
There's way too much. There's a lot, and it's
Just like the NPR, man. That's probably the most
it's like
simplest
conflicting.
thing.
There's a lot of conflicting voices and talking heads,
And everyone's just angry right now,
Yeah.
man. Everyone's really angry right now. So just, yeah, tone down the noise and just NPR it.
all right. Last one. Avengers / Marvel movies, overrated, underrated.
But
I only say Avengers because it was like one of the bigger movies of the summer.
yeah, but Black Panther. Oh, I guess
No,
that's not
Black
really.
Panther was
That's not summer. Yeah,
February, right?
yeah. But they're on a good one right now. But it's not like maybe overrated because there's so many memes about like Thanos right now.
Yeah.
But I'm never gonna like take anything away from it. I guess I'm kind of excited to see like how this last Avenger movie is gonna be, and kind of like that. It's kind of like, ooh, I kind of want to see what they're gonna do next because like everyone's kind of guessing like they're gonna like the whole tone of Avengers is gonna change after the new one comes out, and that could either like sink or swim, like, or is it sink or swim or like
Yeah.
crash or die or whatever.
So it's basically the same thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Marvel movies, I'm gonna say overrated.
Overrated.
I just feel like I'm so saturated, but I'm not saying I have not watched any Marvel movies. I'm just saying that there's so many that I get suckered to watching every one. But sometimes it's kind of like actually right now,
That's kind of what's in too.
yeah, it's the
Superhero thing.
only movies I'm watching in the theater.
Yeah, that's
And
very
it's like, okay, the last movie I saw in the theater was probably Avengers,
not Star Wars. Oh,
not Star Wars. Or
Yeah,
even
yeah,
fucking
that's Solo, yeah.
even Disney. I saw fucking Solo.
I haven't seen it yet. I kind of want to see it, but
Yeah, and the only movie we saw that's not any franchise is Ocean's 8.
totally forgot about that movie.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a lot of good movies out there,
yeah,
actually.
there are a lot. I think I still want to.
Jurassic World.
Jurassic World. Sorry to bother you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shit. There's a lot of movies to see.
But you think Marvel movies right now are kind of overrated?
Overrated.
Just because
We're so oversaturated right now. There's
Got
too
it.
many. And every time there's like how many? 2 or 3 movies?
they're
Not including the Fox stuff. So like not including Deadpool or like the new Venom that's gonna come out.
that's Sony.
Yeah. Same shit, dude.
Yeah, but still, they're all gonna combine someday, right? If they all combine, that'd be cool.
I just feel like I'm just gonna be like, oh my god, everything's Marvel.
They bought everything, man. Disney's buying everything. So,
All right, I'm gonna wrap this shit up.
oh yeah, man.
How are we gonna do it?
Welcome to the. I'm just kidding.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up, like.
All right, so we talked about the creative process and the importance of having structure and having a plan, having goals, having objectives, even if there are passion projects, because those things will help you be a better artist, a creative, hone your craft, because
You gotta hone your craft.
yeah,
man.
boundaries are
Practice it.
good, right?
Boundaries are good.
They're unnecessary evil
Right.
for any creative to get their job done. I want to say that any creative is blessed to do what they do, because there are other fields of work that just like there's no creative leeway.
Right.
Go ahead.
And you gotta really like, if we can do like a 9 to 5 job, even if we don't like it, why can't we why can't we do that with something we love? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we gotta just sit at the desk and just work at it, man. Because that's the only way you're ever gonna get stuff done.
True.
All right, man. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody.
Peace.